You're saying when he says that NIWA gives permits for those dredging and sometimes reclamation by Lagos State, that's incorrect?
Very incorrect. If they give permit, you ask him that if you knew they were going to cause flooding, why did you give permit? He said maybe we stop giving them permit now. What constitutes the role of NIWA in terms of the control of our waterways today is the fact that the law recognizes that 100 meters in our waterfront is controlled by NIWA. And so what happened is that people also now want to access permits from NIWA to be able to develop the waterfront. That, of course, I know exists. But all of those ones are issues of challenge. To say that, how do you now allow states to survive? We have continued to put everything in the hands of the federal government, a federal government that does not really meet the obligations of the people. So what we're saying today, you have seen, your team were there. LASWA, Lagos Ferry, and the authority on the waterways have continuously donated life jackets. When there are incidents on the water, who do you see there? Now, you see our agencies, you see LASEMA, you see LASWA, you see La Ferry. We were the people who always come to the rescue of the people. So you can't come on, you can't eat where you have not, you can't reap where you have not sown. That exactly is what is happening in case of NIWA and the Federal Control Authority.
Now, you say that the federal government has shirked its responsibility, and that's why Lagos is filling that gap. But then, the federal government and the state government, you're the same party.
Yes, let me also say that we're not saying because they have shielded away from their response, that's why we're intervening. No, we're saying that if we had intervened in the past, are you following now?
No, but there's a gap, and you have to provide for that.
Yes, apart from doing the gap, the fact of the case is that if we saw it as a gap while we're intervening before, now it becomes our full responsibility, having to take a judgment, validating our control of our intra-inland waterways. So we're no longer intervening. We are now taking our full responsibility, and then we will take stock of what we have done, and we will also control those intra-inland waterways. We are prepared for them. We will not go to, let them be cautioned that they should stop harassing the operators with police and everybody. If they are aggrieved, and like I've said, they were not the people in court. Those who are in court have been declared as interlopers. That was the judgment last 1.5 weeks. The fishermen went to court and the court declared they are interlopers.
But I thought he said that there's a pending decision to be given by the Supreme Court.
They have not even applied to Supreme Court.
No, not appealing this case.
Yes.
He said there's a pending judgment before this one came. So
I don't know about that. And if there's a pending judgment before the Supreme Court, why don't they wait and respect the Supreme Court judgment when it comes? Okay. Whatever the Supreme Court says, all of us will abide.
But why is this difficult to sort out at the party leadership level so that you avoid or spare allegations of this scenario?
Let me ask you, why is the issue of the Minister of State on petroleum and the GMD, why has it been difficult to resolve?
Asking the wrong guy. I'm not in that party.
So obviously, what we're saying is that this is a party that is pragmatic. It's a party that does not say it's a family affair. It's a party that allows the rule of law to prevail. We're in the same party. But when issues are in contention, are you following what I'm saying? We must determine the fact, because even if we settle it and say it's a family affair, the matter will come up again in future. So let's go to Supreme Court and resolve it once and for all. So we are prepared.
All right, let's get a question from Mark.
Well, you have argued that this is not about revenue for Lagos State, but some people will say that, what has happened also, even in the areas where Lagos State clearly has regulatory powers, they see that they have not been quite firm enough in terms of, holding these dredgers, for instance, to account. What we've seen is that dredgers come, take over a community, dredge as much as they would like to dredge, and when they're done, they abandon the entire areas, leaving the entire infrastructure of that place in a mess. Case in point is the Ascon-Topo Road in Badagry local government area. I mean, the activities of dredgers in that area have left the community people wondering what precisely the government is doing to ensure that when these people come, they also take a look at the infrastructure that they're going to damage as a result of their activities.
I quite agree with you, and I sympathize with those people. But let me also say very clearly here that NIWA man that just left admitted that they will be licensing dredgers. And what we're saying is that the licensed dredgers are arbitrarily, without making them conform with the basic regulations. The Ministry of Waterfront Infrastructure in Lagos State is also the legitimate authority that should license them. But because the Ministry of Waterfront will insist on the A to Z compliance with safety, with all of these regulations, they find it difficult to meet with the Ministry of Waterfront Infrastructure to take their license. They go to NIWA, who really does not bother about those controls. So we should still lay the blame at the doorstep of the federal authority. But that notwithstanding, the Lagos State Ministry of Waterfront Infrastructure is alive to its responsibility and is very prepared more than ever before to ensure that those things do not repeat itself. And then we are hopeful that this judgment subsists and that even when it goes to the Supreme Court, we will win. Then you now, like I said about the case of the mother and the child, those who give you bread and tea and give you poison, whatever, will become more of your friends. And the father will say, no, you cannot eat in between meals. You need to regulate yourself and develop it. So those are the issues. But we understand. But I'm sure that when this matter is finally resolved, all of those things should become a thing of the past.
And I see you're very confident that you will win in the court.
It's about the people.
All right, Mr. Paul Kalijaye is the chairman, Lagos Ferry Services. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.